Okay, hi. This is Francisca. This is my mid-crisis life. So I haven't made a video for a couple of days because I've been waiting to try and figure some stuff out in my head, and I promised myself that I wouldn't make videos unless I had kind of the energy to do that, and the energy was there. And I wanted to be clear about what it is that I wanted to say before I made this video. So I've been talking a lot about this 2-year-old me. So this inner child work that I've been doing, essentially, if you want to put a label on it. And how angry this 2-year-old is at what she didn't get. And so she feels a lot of injustice, I think, is what I've come to conclude. She feels a lot of injustice about the things that happened to her, about what she didn't get, about how unfair things were, about how hard things were, about how harsh life was, about the lack of love and encouragement and reassurance and safety that she had as a child. And you know, everything is a process. Everything's a process. And what I'm going through now really does prove it. So it was important that this 2-year-old came up, and it was important that I acknowledged her, and it was important that I let her say and do what it is that she needed to do. Because in the last video, I spoke about something quite rude and nasty and unkind that my mum said to me when she was angry, when she was dysregulated. Now, usually loving, kind, sweet, forgiving Fran would have just said, okay, cool, that wasn't nice, but she knows not what she does, so we will forgive her. Kind of like this, bombastic, arrogant, benevolent pomposity that I'm seeing myself with again. It's not like I haven't seen it before, but I'm seeing it creep up again. So usually I would have just been like, hey, okay, whatever. It wasn't nice, but kind of like she doesn't know any better, so don't expect any better. But this 2-year-old was actually pretty pissed, right? And it reminds me of this video that I made a little while ago about my eldest son's dad and how he just kind of walked away from me while I was talking to him, and it was like really crazy, super rude. And I wanted to kind of immediately go to forgiveness, but actually there was a part of me that needed to go through the process of being angry, and a lot of the time I skip that process because I feel like it's beneath me or something like that. I'm like too conceited to be angry. And I'll try and find the video and I'll try and link it here if anyone's interested in watching it. But yeah, so on that note, it was really important for this 2-year-old to be angry, because that 2-year-old gave me the empowerment to say some stuff that I wouldn't usually have said. My mum came to me in the morning and she said, look, I'm really sorry about being angry about the subject matter, whatever it is that she was angry about. But I was pissed. I didn't want to be forgiving. I didn't want to be understanding. I didn't want to be compassionate. So I took a second and then I went upstairs and I spoke to her and I said, look, I need to talk to you. I said, I'm not really particularly angry about that. I'm grateful that you've acknowledged it and that you're apologizing or whatever. But actually what I'm really upset about is that you said this. And that's a really nasty thing actually to say to somebody, particularly when that person is just saying to you that the way you're behaving is not okay, because you're pissed off about something that you're not actually communicating with other people. It's not okay to make everybody feel uncomfortable in the house and to be passive aggressive to come back at someone and say nasty things about them and their entire character is not nice. And it's definitely not something that you should say to your child, you know. Anyway, to my mum's credit, she went away and she took a second and she thought about it, and then she texted me and she said, like, you know, I'm sorry for saying that. It was in the heat of the moment. You know, whatever. But I was still pissed. So very kindly, I messaged her back. Because even though I was pissed, like, okay, so just because I'm pissed, it doesn't mean that I have to say things in a reactive way. And it doesn't mean that I need to say nasty things. Like, but I think being pissed off gave me just that little bit of, like, oomph. As I say, that bit of empowerment to not be a shrinking violet, to not just, okay, gloss over things and not say anything and be okay with it and try to be okay with it. So I very kindly said to my mom, you know, look, I acknowledge your thanks and I'm grateful for it. Thank you for taking the time to think, etc., etc. But honestly, you know, this is something that I've been coming to terms with my whole life. This is how I feel that you feel about me, that you don't really think much of me, that you never have, that no matter what I do, you never will. And it's coming up a lot for me at the moment. And to hear it as a 40-year-old is quite difficult, you know. But either which way, I love you. And I sent her that message and then she didn't reply, but everything's been okay. The point of me telling you this story is not about what did or didn't happen. That just kind of sets the framework. The point of me telling you this story is because what came up very strongly for me from that whole process was that there is a massive sense of injustice that I feel. There's a massive feeling of unfairness that I have all the time. And it's always just a why me? Or a why not me? Or how comes her? Or why that person? Why did they get stuff? And I think I was talking about it before, this kind of sense of envy. And there's this massive sense of injustice. And I was talking with someone about it the other day because I was talking about what is the missing piece? What is the thing that really is stopping me from moving forward? And I was really struggling actually to quantify what that actually could be. You know, I know it's around this. I know it's something to do with self-love. It's something to do with core wounding. It is around like limiting self-beliefs. It is about envy. It is about self-esteem and wanting more, but feeling like I can't. But I don't actually get what is the thing that binds all of these things together. And we were talking about all of this. And I was talking about this sense of injustice that I feel. And one of the things that kind of like sparked immediately in my head was this feeling that maybe that sense of injustice is the only thing that attaches me to my mum. It's the only thing that I have left that I can hold on to that represents any form of attachment, any form of relationship. And it's completely distorted, but it's all I have left. So to let go of that would mean letting go of my mum. And I guess that ties into a lot of what I was talking about the other day around attachment and detaching and being more attached to the ideology or the relationship of the thing rather than the thing itself, right? But honestly, I don't think that is what it is. That sounds very clever and it sounds very psychological babble shit. And there probably is an element of it that's true, but I don't think it's the truth. I think what is more true is two things. Number one, I strongly believe that the thing that really irks you about another person is something that actually really irks you about yourself. Because there could be a million different things that you could see in that other person, but the thing that you focus on, the thing that you zoom into, is usually something that you find quite annoying about yourself. So if you know that someone is, I don't know, always making up excuses, to someone else that might not bother them at all. They just be like, all right, cool. I didn't even notice it. Or I did notice it and I don't really care. Like, it's not a bother to me. But if you know that you have a tendency to make up excuses and you've worked really hard to not do that, because that's kind of like your default thing to do, then when someone else does it, it's going to be more irksome, because this is something that you have struggled with and put the effort in to change and augment and to grow out of in your own life. And it makes me think about the way that I look at my mum and the things that annoy me about her. A lot of her more, like ugly qualities. Yeah, I can't think of any better word for it. That is the truth. Some of her more ugly qualities always kind of boil down to her feeling like things aren't fair. So her thinking so much about herself and what she doesn't have and what someone else isn't doing for her and how hard life is for her and why things have to be that way and why no one cares about her stuff and blah, 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 blah. And I just find it repulsive, to be perfectly honest, for someone to be so self-involved. But the thing is the truth of the matter is probably the reason why that annoys me so much is because I have the exact same tendency. It is her sense of injustice at the world that things are not fair for her. Not that things aren't fair, because I guarantee you that if you zoomed out and you looked at everything from the beginning to the end of time, you would understand that there was absolute perfect balance, right? And also, if you zoomed out from your life or you looked back at things from a much further point in the future, you would look back on any difficulty that you go through and say, oh, I get that. Like, I understand why that happened. Like, I understand why I went through that, because it had to happen in order for me to go here. So nothing is actually unfair and everything is working for you. And I know these principles, but there is still a part of me that suffers from this feeling of injustice. Why me? Why not me? Why didn't I get? Why couldn't I have? Why doesn't this happen for me? Why can't I get to this point? Why does everybody else have? And the more that I've thought about it, the more that it's really, really upset me, to be perfectly honest. Because the truth of the matter is that a feeling of injustice comes from a lack of gratitude. Like a real, true lack of gratitude. Like gratitude for really everything. And someone said that to me the other day, and honestly, it hit me in my heart like God was talking directly to me in that moment. And the funny thing is like, my ex used to say this to me all the time, like, 10, 12 years ago, whatever it was, when I used to complain about how hard life was and how no one really helped me and how it's so hard being a single mum and how, No one cooks dinner for me. I have to do it every single day. I have to do everything for myself. No one's helping me. And it's true. That was true. Like, it's not like it's not true. It was fucking hard, man. I mean, shout out to all the single mums out there, because it is fucking hard. It is really fucking hard to be everything to everyone, to run a household, to work full time, to try and find time for yourself. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But he used to say to me when I used to complain about all these things, like, you're so fucking ungrateful. You're so fucking ungrateful. You've got a roof over your head. You've got kids that adore you. Like, you have the opportunity to have beautiful relationships with these children, to mold a life. Like, he used to say to me, when I go home, if I'm not here, I'm by myself. Like, so yeah, maybe I don't have to cook dinner and look after people or whatever it is that you have to do, but I have to just be alone. Like, do you know how much I would prefer to have someone to cook dinner for, have someone to put to bed, have someone to look after? Do you know how much I would prefer to actually fucking have that in my life? And that was a really big turning point for me. And I think the thing with any of these kind of processes is that everything is cyclical. You're never discovering something new. Not at this point in your life anyway. And I think even at a young age, there's shit you already kind of know, right? But you're just re-remembering it. So I'm re-remembering how powerful actual, real, true gratitude is. Like, real gratitude. Not, oh, you know, I'm grateful for this or that or the other, but like really actually feeling deep in my soul. Yeah, someone tried to call me. So yeah, like a feeling of like real deep, 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 deep gratitude for absolutely everything that I was given, everything that I have been given. Like, really, truly, like, feeling into the miracle that I am, that this life is, that everything that I've been given is. And I don't know what exactly that looks like for me on a day-to-day basis. I don't know what the practice of that is, because it's so easy to become complacent and just, oh, I'll write 3 things down, you know. I think it's a feeling. It's a feeling, because if I can really actually truly feel gratitude in my body for everything that I've been given, and I've been given so much. I've been given so much. I've been given so many talents, so many gifts, so many opportunities. I've been given so much love. I've been given a roof over my head and a chance to do something new. Like, I've been given the world, actually, really, at this point in time. And I'm too busy looking at someone else being ungrateful to be grateful for it. Man, oh, how fucking pig ignorant. How fucking pig ignorant is that? This person that I was speaking to, they said to me, when you're grateful, God gives you more to be grateful for. And it's that whole fucking bullshit that everybody already knows. The grass is not always greener. I'm looking at everyone else and what they've got and why I can't have, and why is my life not like this, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just forgetting to really look, to really see, to really actually truly appreciate. But the thing that I really love, not even but, and the thing that I really love is how, through allowing myself to go through that process, through allowing myself to meet with that younger version of myself, feel that pain, let go of my mum's hand, be angry, say the things that I needed to say, brought me to these thoughts, these recognitions, this comprehension. And through that, that can make a change. I feel less stuck than I did before. I feel more I don't know, irritated, annoyed, dissatisfied with myself. I'm not even really sure what exactly that feeling is. And I'm trying not to be harsh or be blameful or be dismissive of myself, because I've seen a part of myself that I don't fucking like. But with love, I'm going to just try and yeah, try and process everything that I've come to understand. And with love, try to see where I've been harming myself, because that's really all it is at the end of the day. And I guess that through having gratitude, real, actual fucking gratitude, that is me loving myself. It's me loving myself and loving my life and loving the things that are in it, because all of it is an expression of me. Yes. So yeah, I haven't done it for the last few videos, and that just goes to show, doesn't it? But let's think about some stuff that I'm actually grateful for. I'm actually really grateful for. I'm really, really, really grateful for this beautiful mind that I've been given. I'm really, really, really grateful for the ability to communicate and express myself and express my needs. I'm grateful for the amount of vocabulary that I have in my head that allows me to get down into the minutia, of what it is that I'm going through, so that I can understand myself and the world better. I'm so grateful for that. I would be lost without it. I'm really grateful that that same verbose, articulate nature allows me to help other people, and really help other people in a way that means something to me, in a way that feels like authentic and genuine to me, that I can explain things that are really complex in a way that makes sense, and in a way that is recognizable and relatable and accessible to other people, and that actually has a fucking impact. Like, do you know how amazing that is? Like, I'm so grateful for that. Like, and it sounds like arrogance, but I was not given any of these. Like, I did nothing. I did nothing to have the mind that I did, to have the intelligence that I did, to be able to read and articulate in the way that I do. I've done nothing to have the baseline for that. That was all given to me as a gift. And I'm just really grateful for all of the gifts that I have been endowed with. Like, oh, like I got so many. I got so many. And I'm really, really grateful for that. Okay. And with that, that is all I'm going to say.